We have a new name,
We,
Hannah.
we have a new
We
name.
did it.
Which it's actually so simple that it kind of makes me crazy. We didn't think of it before.
I'm like, yeah, I agree. I can't believe we didn't think about it before. And I'm surprised that it's not taken. There are things that are kind of similar, but not this exactly. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's just perfect
Yeah.
because it doesn't allude to any certain topic.
Right?
So
Yeah.
perfect. Welcome to My Bestie and Me.
There we go. So
Yes.
simple.
Love it.
Love it.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hannah, diving right in.
Oh no.
Did you see the news about Britney Spears getting backhanded?
Yeah. Okay. I saw a little tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. Okay. What happened? Tell me.
Okay, so there's like this professional NBA basketball player.
Okay.
I forget his name. He's like super young. I think this is like his first season as a pro.
Okay.
Um, but
And his
apparently they were
last.
what?
And
And his
now his last.
last. Yeah, well, he is not the person who
Okay.
transgressed.
Okay.
It was his security guard, which I almost feel like is worse. But
Yeah.
so they're apparently staying in the same hotel.
Okay.
And she was walking behind him and went to tap him on the shoulder because she had gone to the game. That's what it was. She
Okay.
had gone to the game and then they were leaving at the same time or they were at the same hotel. I think it was a hotel. Regardless, not important. The part is she taps him on the shoulder to like tell him, hey, you did great. Like, congratulations on the win. She barely touches his shoulder. And all of a sudden, his security guard just backhands her in the face. And she like stumbles back and almost falls down.
Oh my
And
god.
then you can hear, like, because there's video of it, because people were
Yeah.
trying to say that she was lying.
Yeah, because you could hear the slap. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. I was like, what is happening here? I
Yeah.
didn't like know.
Yeah. So, and then like the people, like passersby, whatever, were like, oh my gosh, that's Britney Spears. And because this guy is so young, he like isn't super familiar with Britney Spears and like how famous she really is because he's so young. But still, you can't not know who she is.
Yeah.
You
No
know, like
way.
it makes sense to not be a fan of hers, but you
Yeah.
can't just straight up say, I have no idea who that is.
No.
So that's like the first thing that he was trying to say of like, I didn't realize. But again, it wasn't the basketball player, it was his
Yeah.
security person.
Well, why would he Britney Spears or not? Why is he slapping people like
Why
that?
is your first reaction to cause physical injury?
Yeah. Instead of
Like,
being
you
like,
can turn
"Hey,
around and
you
be
need
like,
to back
back up.
up." Yeah.
Yeah. But like, no, first reaction is to backhand someone. And then you're really effed up because it was Britney Spears and everyone knows who she is.
Yeah.
And so like she did like a post on Instagram about it and like how she's just honestly expecting an apology
Yeah.
from this dude and his security person.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's come out yet. I don't think they yet still have not
You think that that would
actually
be something that
apologized.
immediately happened? Like,
Right.
"Oh my gosh, we're so sorry."
Right. And like I hope that security guy, I hate to say that I hope people get fired, but like low key,
But
if you don't know how to do your job in a professional manner, then you should not be in that job.
no.
Like maybe go work
No.
for the mob instead.
The mob.
If your first reaction is
Is
to
to slap
beat someone,
is to slap a girl in the face.
yeah, seriously. Like, oh my gosh, cuz the security guard I think was trying to say that she like grabbed him
Yeah,
like
no.
and like there's video. She literally
Yeah.
went tap tap on his shoulder. Like no excuse.
Yeah. Yikes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to talk about that cuz we talked about Britney in our last episode and then that happened. But I was watching like one of the I don't know that I would call her like a gossip channel, but I was watching one of the girls that I like to watch for like celebrity news
Uh-huh.
and she followed or she does like deep dives on like relationships in Hollywood from like
Okay.
way back when.
Yeah.
And I love watching those like just cuz I'm bored.
Yeah.
But she was saying and she made a good point of like this basketball player technically did nothing wrong. The
Yeah.
basketball player himself didn't do anything. However, this will now be part of his story for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
For
you
sure.
hired this guy. You didn't immediately put out an apology.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That
this is
looks
now going to be
bad.
part of your whole thing just because your security guard was an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
Yeah. That's bad. I can't believe an
Big.
apology isn't out.
I know. Like, I'm sorry, you're arguing with us about an apology?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I didn't know who she was. And?
Right. Okay. Well, who cares if she's even Britney Spears? If it was a random fan.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
I
know.
saw just a little clip and I didn't know what was happening in that.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
girl
that
can't catch
video.
a break.
What?
That girl can't catch a break.
Seriously.
If it really was Britney Spears.
True. If it wasn't just her clone.
Yeah.
I switched to drinking out of a cup, not sponsored. Because I noticed in our last video, for one, I was eating like the whole time. And I was so annoyed with myself because I'm like clearly chewing and trying to hide that I'm chewing. And then
I
also
didn't
like
even
drinking out of
notice.
a can was annoying me. So I'm like, Nicole, first of all, no more eating when you're on a podcast. 2, maybe just have a straw instead of chugging a can.
Funny, I didn't even notice you were eating.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I certainly did. But then again, when I'm like editing it, I'm staring at like me for however long if I'm the one saying something.
Right.
And then I'm staring at you. So I'm like,
Speaking of eating, I had an appointment yesterday and I'm laying there. It's almost 12. I hadn't eaten yet that day. I just went straight there. I don't know if this ever happens to you. Sometimes when I get so hungry, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
oh, yeah, that happens to me.
Okay. So I'm laying there going, I'm either going to pass out or I'm going to throw up. And so I very calmly go, this is a weird question. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do you happen to have a cracker?
A cracker?
Or a chip?
Just one.
I felt like all I needed was one, just so that my stomach didn't become like a black hole and just
suck all of you
kill
into
me. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I need to eat something right now or there's going to be a problem. And so the one girl was like, okay. And so she like ran and she brought me like 3 bags of chips and a cheese stick. And I was like,
my girl.
I go, can I have a cheese stick right now, please? Like, there was just pure panic. And she was like, okay.
Gosh.
I was just like, ah.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
happen to
laying
me.
flat, so I'm also choking on the cheese stick. I'm like,
but did you forget to swallow?
I didn't. No, I remember to swallow.
So
I mean, I was choking. So.
So also not swallowing.
But yeah, so that was embarrassing.
Awesome.
I love going out in public. You never know what's going to happen.
Right? That'll happen to me sometimes, though, if I don't eat. I'll feel like super nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just either like can't decide, do I eat and risk getting sick? Or do I just continue to not eat and wait for it to pass?
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the time I just don't eat because I'm nauseous.
I used to have like an iron stomach. Like I could wake up, drink like 3 cups of coffee and not eat anything until lunch and be like, fine.
Yeah.
Now, there's no way. No way would that ever happen. I would drink like half a cup of coffee and vomit. Yeah. Not
me. I can definitely still go until like 11 or noon without eating and like only having coffee. Mm-mm. It's not great. Like, would not recommend, but
yeah. This is not healthy life choices, people.
Right. Right. Don't use us as models. That's a funny thought just in and of itself. Like, well, Nikki and Hannah eat this way. Oh, that's funny.
Well, but then again, look at us, though.
Exactly. That's my point. So I watched Hamilton for the first time.
Oh, okay.
I had never seen it.
I
I don't
have
know
never
why.
either.
You haven't? It's good.
Okay.
It's good. The music is very catchy.
Did you watch like the new one that is on like Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched.
That with
I don't know what you mean by
Manuel or
the
whatever.
new one.
Well, okay, it might have been like a few years now.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
definitely it's old at this point.
Okay.
I mean it's at least 4 years old.
No, already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Ryan, I was singing the songs. One of the songs in particular is stuck in my head, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But I was telling him how like I cannot get this song out of my head, and he said that people that he worked with at the hotel in Winston used to like play that soundtrack on repeat, and he hates it now.
Oh, okay, good.
And like he's never watched it or even listened to it like himself, but he can't stand it. And so I've been playing this one song on repeat. It's the You'll Be Back song, which is the guy who plays Kristoff in Frozen.
Okay.
It's him who plays King George in this play. And he only has like 2 songs. He's only on stage like for a total of 10 minutes.
Oh.
In the 3-hour play. But that's because it's not about King George, it's about America. But it's the song that's like, you'll be back, then you'll see, you'll remember you belong to me. It's all over TikTok also. Anyways, it's fantastic.
Okay.
And it's so catchy. So that's like all I woke up singing it in my head this morning. Like upon opening my eyes, in my head, it's you'll be back. like
that's like when my husband would not stop watching The Greatest Showman. Like I saw it
That's
in theaters.
Hilarious. Hold on, let's rewind. Your husband wouldn't stop. Okay.
Yeah. I saw it in theaters. I was like, wow, I love this.
It's good.
So I bought it, right? Sat down, made my husband watch it, who was not interested in the slightest to watch this movie. Then he absolutely ruined the movie for me. Like anytime the kids were like, we want to watch a movie, Greatest Showman. Anytime he wanted to watch a movie, Greatest Showman. And then finally, like the kids like were so obsessed with it that like he would play the soundtrack in the car, and I'm just like, stop it!
I can't stand it.
Did not know my husband would be that obsessed with that one. So
I don't think I would have guessed that.
No. So now I cannot watch that movie. Like
That's so sad.
Except the Never Enough song. I could watch anybody sing that song like 8,000 times and be like,
it does make me cry.
It makes me cry every time.
I don't know if it's because her performance in the movie is amazing.
Yeah. You know, it's not really her singing it though, right?
Of course not.
Okay.
I believe that. I didn't know that, but I believe it.
It's
I feel like
singer.
That makes sense.
So I feel so bad I can't remember the actress's name who sang in it, but I love her. I love her in The White Queen on Stars, I think it is, or HBO Stars. I don't know, one of those. Fantastic, loved her. She herself is a singer, like in real life. But can you imagine yourself being a singer and then they're like, so we love your voice, but we're gonna use somebody else. Like, oh. But the real singer, I think her name is Lauren Allred, I think. She was on one of those competition shows. I can't remember which one it was. But she, I think, was on one of those, like, you know, what is it? Like, I can't even think
The Voice or like America's Got Talent. Okay.
Yeah. And so so that's where she was discovered. But I feel like just the way she sings, you'd think she'd be way more famous than like she is.
Right.
Like she actually was able to perform it, I think, at some like award show or whatever, and everyone was like, "Who's this?" Like,
she's like, "Well, it's my voice on the movie,
yeah,
but that's okay."
Yeah, but like, no matter what, I also love watching the like making of that movie, just like watching all of like the people practice singing and stuff, like they get so into it and they're just like all of a sudden they're like, wow, we're good, you know.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman is, you know, Hugh Jackman.
It's Hugh Jackman.
Yes, like Lordy.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about Hugh.
Hugh. Mm. Mm.
Mm,
Like, and he ages well.
like a fine wine.
Like a fine wine. His thing with Ryan Reynolds, though, cracks me up. Like
Oh my gosh.
their pretend feud.
Ryan Reynolds in general is like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, him and Hugh Jackman with their feud.
Yes. With their
Cracks
fake
me up.
feud. It's great. Great times.
So Ryan got that job
Yay!
that I talked about on the last episode. That's so exciting.
That is very exciting.
This is his last week at his current employer.
How did that go?
Oh, way better than we expected.
Okay.
Yeah, we were like a little bit nervous.
I like that.
Sorry, I had some phlegm. I don't want to cough into the microphone.
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. Pause. Let me see them nails. Did you do it yourself? Yes. You're amazing. I can't. Do you like use like fine pens and all of that?
Not a pen, a brush. I
Mine
have
too.
like the little artsy pen, or not pens, brushes.
What on earth?
It's very difficult to use my left hand though. Like you can
I'm sure.
definitely tell a difference
Yeah,
between
but
the two.
still.
But
like,
yeah.
I couldn't even do a flower.
I also got
And it's dots.
it's dots. Yeah, I went all out with like my own home nail salon.
Yeah.
Because I was spending so much money on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, but for why?
Yeah. I do dip nails. I mean, I don't do obviously any designs, but I blew up my top coat bottle. So I haven't been able to do my nails in a while.
Wait, how did you blow it up?
It was in the car and it was like over 100 degrees.
Why would you have your top coat in the car?
Because I brought my whole nail kit when I went on vacation and I left the bag in the car.
Oh, that makes sense then.
So much wrong happened.
So much wrong there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I ruined my cool reusable bag from IKEA.
Because it exploded in there?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, why is it ruined if it's that plasticky IKEA bag? But then I remembered the top coat for gel stuff is like not,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't dry.
Bad. It literally, like I pulled it out and I got it all over my hands. And you know how like it, like super glue looks when it dries all over? I look like I had leprosy and I could not get it off. I was like using nail files because like acetone wasn't working. So I'm sitting there with like nail file, like filing my hand.
Oh my gosh, acetone. Children.
Okay.
Well, okay, so hot start. You said acetone, so it made me think of this. When Drew okay, it was like a week and a half ago.
What's happening?
I'm sorry. Like a week and a half ago, Drew rode his bike, and his bike, like the handlebars, I don't even know what's happening, but basically every time it like leaves black stuff on his hands.
Okay.
We need to like rewrap them. But he was gone with friends all day riding his bike, and he always has his AirPods, and he doesn't have a case on his AirPods. So his white AirPod like case ended up being like covered in that black stuff.
Okay.
And he apparently was trying to clean it. Ryan mentioned like trying like Clorox wipes because that's what we use for everything.
Yeah.
And apparently it didn't work. So Drew thought that it would be a really good idea to get some acetone from my nail stuff.
Yeah.
And tried wiping his AirPod case off with it. And it took all of the shiny varnish off of it.
Uh-huh.
So now, anytime you touch the case, it gets dirtier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please explain your thought process here. Do you think that acetone is a cleaner? Like
Ugh.
bleach? Because it's not.
No. Mm-mm.
And he was like, well, yeah, I know that now. And I'm like, why wouldn't you have you like asked?
Yeah, be like, hey, can I use this chemical on my
Right.
AirPod
Do you
case?
think this chemical would work to get this black stuff off my case? I would have been like, no,
Yeah, no, don't
not
use
a good
that.
idea.
Yeah, not even like those magic erase markers. Those things take off like layers of stuff too. Like they're
Like the
great, but you
Mr.
got to be
Clean magic
careful.
erasers.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those.
I tried to use them on a wall once and it took the paint off
Yeah,
in my mother's house.
it takes the paint off the wall.
Yeah. And I
I
was
was
like,
like,
oh no.
yeah, my friend's kid colored all over the wall with crayon, and I was like, oh, magic eraser. Like, oh, gotta paint this wall now.
Yeah, nope, bad idea.
Yeah, well, it took all the blue off.
Yeah, it did work. It
And
just worked too well.
the paint and the texture.
Yeah, and then I tried to tell him that he should get like a case. Like I have my AirPod case in a case.
Yeah, that's
Like,
how I have mine.
and he was like, no. And then Ryan sent him one like on Amazon. And he was like, I don't like that one. And I was like, well, there are lots of different cases. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to get that one,
Yeah.
but you can get one just so it protects it anyway. And he was like, or I'll just save up money and buy a new case. They're like $100. He talks about money like $100
Or you could
isn't
get
a
like
lot.
a $10 silicone
That's
cover.
what I said. I was like, or
still
you can spend $15 and just go get something that will still protect it. And he was like, yeah, but if I'm spending my own money, I don't expect you guys to buy it. And I'm like, where are you getting your money? Because you don't have a
Also,
job.
Do you know how to
Yeah. I know.
children?
I know. He's like, it's
Teenagers!
only $100.
Teenagers! You could buy a new set of AirPods, the whole thing for $100.
Well, not the new ones. He's not gonna
No.
be a poor
like-
kid and get the lowly first editions.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, that's what I have.
I know. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you are so bougie. I can't even stand it.
Oh man. Hey, you're not leaving this room, ma'am. My dog is trying to escape. She is bored with us. We are not cool anymore. Before she would just lay around and hump pillows, and now she wants out.
You know what other videos I've been obsessed with recently?
I'm scared because I just said humping pillows.
Okay, no, we were talking about dogs and being entertained.
Okay.
I've been watching those videos of like people voice over like dogs.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the pirate cat?
No.
Oh my god.
But they are so funny.
They are funny.
And I'm like rolling laughing and I'm sending them to like Ryan and Drew and they're like, haha, that's funny.
This crazy lady.
You're
watching dog videos.
Laughing. I can't believe you're not laughing as hard as I am.
You're like, this dog said a sentence.
Yeah. Okay, I'm either having deja vu or we already talked about this in our first episode.
What?
This exact thing.
No, we did not talk about it.
It's an extreme case of deja vu for me. Cool.
I hate deja vu. It makes me either wonder if I'm a witch or if I'm crazy.
Maybe both.
I'm like, touch my lashes.
I love that we talked about getting a buzzer, but we'll just do that to ourselves now.
Yeah. Get like the taboo buzzer.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Ugh. I got a permanent bracelet.
Excuse
I don't know
me?
how the permanent jewelry. I don't know how I feel about it. I even told the girl, like, I was like, oh, I really want one of those, but like I get weird about stuff on my wrists. And so I was like, meh. So I passed her booth and then I came back. I was like, okay, let's do it. And now I'm like, I want this off.
They're like super small and dainty, aren't they?
Yeah, like it's totally fine.
I feel like I would be afraid that I would be breaking it.
Well, the way like she yanked on it afterwards, I was like, wow, that thing's strong. Though, okay, a couple of things. She was like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have had coffee. So she was shaking so hard, so she like couldn't clip it back together. Yeah. And then she zapped me with the freaking what do you call it? I don't know, what is it? A soldering
Soldering?
yeah thing.
Okay.
And so when I was at my appointment yesterday, I was telling them about it. They're like, they didn't put a leather strap on your hand? I was like, no. They're like, they're supposed to do that so you don't get zapped.
That's some back alley shit.
It was. Farmers market in Roslyn, Washington. It
Oh
was like
my
this
gosh.
like population 300. Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah. It was
Well,
interesting.
you
Interesting to say
survived.
the least.
You have a pretty bracelet now.
I do. One of my appointment things that popped up is I have a Lasik
Consult
today.
Ermager.
I'm very nervous because the doctor does not think it'll work. So
Why would you be nervous about a consult?
because I want LASIK so badly, and I'm
Okay.
afraid they're going to tell me no. So
That's
yeah,
fair.
they are afraid I don't have enough cornea to have it done.
Hannah, are you going to be blind?
Well, I'm already that blind. That's why. They think that I'm already too far gone to have it done. So, which I'm going to trust them and not be like, I'm going to get a second opinion. No, if they're saying that I don't have enough cornea and they won't do it, I'm not going to find somebody else to be like, yeah, sure.
Right. Let's just go ahead and gamble my eyesight. It's fine.
Right? Well, at the same time, though, I'm like, okay, but like, I don't have to have perfect eyesight. Can I just have a little bit better?
Right.
Because I literally have bottle caps. Like, I put my glasses on and my face is like distorted to like this in my glasses.
I know, your eyes go to like the middle.
Yes,
of your face.
it's awful. I want to look at least cute in glasses if I gotta wear them. Yeah, but they basically told me that I have to have it done this year or nothing, or I'll never get it done. So it's not like, I always was like, oh, I'll just wait till like I'm 40. Like, it'll be my 40th birthday present, like then.
Too far.
Nope. I'm glad I had it like checked though, because can you imagine if I waited that long and then they're like, sorry, like no way.
Yeah.
Though at the same time, I'm terrified of the procedure. Absolutely terrified.
But it's so fast.
I know, but
I agree.
Like,
like the whole.
I wish I was blind for it. Like, I don't want to see what's coming towards my eye.
It gives me like the ick the same way that thinking about what a C-section is.
Yeah. Yep.
And what's involved with those. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. So with Luke, they like, because I had labored for so long, they had like people come in to talk to me about a C-section to like tell me about it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to be awake. They're like, you want to be awake so that you could see your baby and stuff. And I was like, I don't.
No, I promise you.
I'll see him later.
Yeah.
Well, it's better for you or baby if you're not put under anesthesia. And I was like, I mean, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. He's got his dad. It's fine.
Yeah, I did not want to be awake for that. So like, I think that's also, so when I did have a C-section for the twins, I think that's why I was shaking so hard. Like, I know like you have adrenaline and your body's having contractions. So you like start shaking anyways.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. And so like, oh man, I was like Amy Poehler in Baby Mama when she's like freaking out. Is that guy dead? Like we're in there and they're like trying to put the spinal in, and I'm just like, I like your necklace. Can I look at your necklace? Can I see it up closer? Can I? And she was like, yeah, you can look at my necklace. I was like, where did you get this necklace? Like losing my mind.
Distract me.
Oh my gosh, I was losing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if you miss? I'm shaking so hard. Like, what if you don't, like, what if you paralyze me? And they're like, calm down.
When I was pregnant with Grady and we were going through like the classes at the hospital, they were like, we want you to be fully informed. So like today's lesson or whatever is just going to be on all of the different, what do they call them? interventions that might happen in your labor, whether you choose to do a C-section or not. A C-section is a possibility.
Yeah.
And here's exactly what happens in a C-section. And like, I've always known when you get a C-section, they cut into your body to take the baby out.
But did you know about all the layers?
Exactly. I'm like, I never once put any thought into the fact that there is skin, and then there's fat, and then there's muscle, and then the uterus itself.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that
like-
and like they got to move your intestines around. Like,
and then they like just pry you open with those bars, like, ugh,
okay, but
ugh.
I had 2.
Yeah.
So they had to they pulled out baby B first, which he was on top. So they pulled him out first from up here and then pulled Liam out second. And like, let me tell you, it is the weirdest sensation I have ever gone through.
Ew, it's making me
because you can feel
the
but
tugging.
You can't.
Right.
It literally feels like your stomach's a water bed. Like they're jiggling so much. Like everything is just jiggling. And like you're like on the table and you're like being shook on the table.
Right.
You know? And just like, I don't know.
Ew.
I would rather give birth 100 times over. And like, I hate when people say like C-sections are cheating. No way. They're not cheating.
Punch people in the face.
They are not cheating at all. It was the worst recovery. Like, hands down, worst recovery ever. And like, yeah, no. Giving birth, like, I'm not saying giving birth is easy.
Right.
But and to this day, it's the weirdest thing. So I was fully in labor. And the reason we had the C-section was because Jack was the wrong way and all sorts of stuff. Twins, more complications. We did it that way. But I was dilated to a 9. My body went through the labor. And then to have your babies taken out, my body was like, what?
Yeah, what just happened?
I was supposed to push something out and it's gone.
Right.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they take the placenta out when they do?
They do all of it. It's all done. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, but.
Yeah. So it was like the weirdest sensation. Like the whole like recovery process. My body was like, I'm supposed to be giving birth. Where'd the babies go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I had to get a cracker.
Yeah. My husband just called me and he was like, so he was listening to episode 3 and he was like, how come you never talk about me? You only ever talk about your older brothers. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, like when you mentioned like the millennials or whatever, you were like, yeah, well, it would be like us or Jason, but you didn't say anything about your husband who's also 40. And I was like, Jason is older than you. Like he is on the cusp of the older generation and being a millennial. I honestly think he's technically a millennial.
Yeah.
But if he's not, he was right there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's why I didn't say my husband. And then I said, because you're a millennial and Jason is or isn't. He's like right on that cusp. And he was like, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I am not a millennial. Like, you are. I know it's unfortunate, but you are.
Just so everyone knows, and so Ryan feels better, Nikki is not single.
I am married. I'm married happily. Oh, sensitive. Love you, babe. Oh, gosh. That man is so funny. Enjoying your crackers? Did you start to feel nauseous?
I felt nauseous. This kind of stuff would make me feel like I could be pregnant, but I'm not. I tied my tubes during that C-section.
Right. That would be very difficult to do.
That would also be a miracle.
Yeah.
Also, if it happened, it needs to be a girl or I would jump off a cliff.
I know. I think about that all the time because Ryan and I will talk about like, are we going to have more kids? Are we done? Ryan would go get snipped today.
Yeah.
if I told him that I was done having kids. But he was like, I got one more in me. Like, like you may not have more than one more. And I am putting my foot down on that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. I don't know that I would want more than one more. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I want one more.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to say 100% that I'm done yet either.
Yeah.
Like, and anytime I'm like super emotional or anytime that I don't know, anytime I have any weird abnormal symptom,
Yeah.
Ryan's like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No.
Well, your clock is ticking, lady. Make your decision soon.
No, I already know that if we were to have another kid, I don't think I would want one until we move over there.
But then your husband's going to be in a wheelchair.
He's going to be so old. I know, which is why I'm like leaning towards like I guess we probably won't have another one.
Yeah.
But
But you make
and
these
that's the thing too
babies.
is if we have another one, if it's not a girl, I'll be so upset. Like I love my boys and I
Yeah.
love being a boy mom. I feel like it's so fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's also it makes you have a heart attack every single day because
Yeah.
boys are just not afraid of anything ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've just always wanted a girl. My mom always wanted me to have a girl. It's just been like one of those things where like part of
I
me
know.
feels like I won't be complete until I have a girl, but there's no guarantee of getting one of those. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Unless you're really rich and
yeah,
play
unless you
God.
could just create it in the lab.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't want to say play God. That's rude. Because I mean, I've never gone through the process, but I know like when they pull embryos and all that stuff, they're like, hey, you got the sexes of these, which one do you want?
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was done and knew I was never going to have a girl, there is a mourning process. Like I even joined a group called Gender Disappointment because like I was like there has to be other people out there that are like pregnant right now that are like so sad at the genders of their babies but like are way too embarrassed to talk about it.
Right. Because you say stuff like, "Oh, I wish this was a girl." And people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you don't love your baby?"
Yeah. And
Like,
that's not it at
relax.
all. And especially like having the twins, like if I had just had one, I would have tried again for
Sure.
sure. Like we always wanted two, but knowing me, I would have wanted another.
Yeah.
But after the twins and knowing I wasn't going to have any more, like it was just like so final. And so like a friend of mine was told she was having twin boys the entire pregnancy and then like at 7 months they did a scan and realized it was girls. So like every time I had a scan, I was like, "Can you check again?" And it was blatantly obvious that they were boys.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was just in absolute denial, I think. Especially because, like, I mean, I had hundreds of girl names that I absolutely loved. Boy names, like, I knew I wanted Luke, and that's it. I was only planning to have one boy.
Yeah.
So, like, boy names were so hard for me. And, we named Jack after my dad, and then Liam was literally the backup for Luke. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So, but it fits him. But, I don't know. It was hard. There was literally a mourning process of like knowing I'll never have a daughter.
Right.
And it's different. Like girls always want their moms. Boys get married. They leave their, they leave their family. They, all of that jazz. And, like girls always want their moms around. Boys aren't like that. So it's like, yeah.
I don't know. I think there could be an argument made that boys are like mama's boys.
I mean, I
more
guess.
often than girls are mama's girls. Like usually it's daddy's girl, mama's
but
boy.
I'm talking about like adult though. Like,
sure, once you get past the kid stage, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about adult. Like there was this TikTok I saw that it says when you realize that your you're the like mom or the mother-in-law on the dad's side, and it was like for the holidays, you know, like nobody wants to go to the in-laws. It's like the mother-in-law. Like,
that's such garbage.
I know, but still, I don't know.
I bet you could ask both my sister-in-laws whose family they would rather spend time with.
I know.
No, not rather, but like, I mean, my family's amazing.
I know. This was your mommy's.
Oh, was it? I thought
Mhm.
it looked familiar. I just couldn't remember if it was just yours or if it was my mom's.
It was your
That's
mom's.
cute. Cute.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just like, I have so much time, but I'm like nervous that, like, you know.
I think it's just important to like make sure that whatever female your boys, you know, bring home that are like
They
serious,
freaking love me.
yeah, that like you treat them as if they are your daughter, you
Yeah.
know, like you
Mhm.
don't treat them like, oh, my baby brought you home, so I
Yeah.
guess I'll be nice.
Yeah.
It's like no, you are now part of my family
Yeah.
and I love
Hi,
you.
I
You
am your
know,
mommy.
yep, I will be your mother.
Give me granddaughters. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what if your boys only have girls?
That would be cool though. I'd be
There
so
you
excited.
go.
But man, my husband's family is like 5 generations of boys.
Yeah.
And we got 3 boys, but Matt's freaking brothers got girls. Matt's twin. His twin brother had a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is wrong with you, Matt? What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
He says that he's not man enough to make girls.
You do have to be a special human being, I feel like, to
guess.
raise females.
I
We
guess.
are difficult.
Yes.
to
But every
say
once
the
in a
least.
while, we'll see like a little girl in like the cutest little outfit, and he'll look at me and he'll go, I'm sorry. I'm like,
It's so sad to think about, like, I'm sure you think about this with Matt.
wanting to
Like,
see a daughter with your husband?
yes,
Yes.
like my husband,
100%.
my husband would be a puddle.
Yeah. So would mine.
Like, I just know it. He
Yep.
would absolutely melt.
Yep. My husband
a little
cries all the time over our sons. I could not even imagine. I couldn't
Yeah.
even imagine a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And like father-daughter dance.
Right? That's so cute. Butterfly
Oh.
kisses.
There is a song I have to share with you. I cannot remember what it's called now, but this girl was like, this is the perfect song for like a mother-son dance. And it was like talking about like when he was her little man. I was
Oh.
I was bawling. And then
Sad.
I made Matt listen to it, and he was like, why'd you show me this?
Why would you show me that? It's so stupid. Oh gosh.
But my husband cries over a lot of things. Love him. I'll never forget the day that I came downstairs and he's holding a pillow, bawling his brains out watching Soul Surfer. I was like, why are you crying? He's like, she lost her arm.
There has to be a clip. Oh, that's funny.
I was like, grow some balls, man.
Oh, that's hilarious, actually.
And then he bawled his brains out when Luke cut his first tooth.
Really?
He's like, he's getting so big already. We have to have another baby right now. And I was like, he's 4 months old.
I think Ryan just screamed. He was like, ow, he bit me.
I know a lot of people who like literally cut off nursing the second their kid gets teeth.
I said that I would do that. I don't think I even made it that far with either of my boys. But I said that. I was like, the second they have teeth, it's too old for me. Mm-hmm. What's that movie? Is it Grown Ups?
Yeah.
Where there's like a 5-year-old kid? Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely not.
I just followed this girl. I didn't follow her. Sorry. But like she came across my feed and she is nursing her 12-year-old daughter still.
No.
And I was like,
that's child abuse.
No, knock it off. Knock it off.
Ew.
Knock it off.
Ew. That makes me uncomfy.
Yeah, Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ew. Yeah. Like, how is that not child abuse?
I don't know.
I mean, then you have the whole argument of like, boobs are not just sexual organs. Like, obviously.
But
But she's 12. She's about to go through puberty.
Well, here's the thing, too. Are they getting any type of nutrients from that at all?
And like, what's the purpose at this point? She is fully grown and eating any kind of food that you can eat. So what is the benefit of still breastfeeding at that age?
I feel like it's like, Mama, you need to let go.
Because it's also not even an immunity thing.
I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense. That sounds like a cat.
I think the child I'm babysitting is here.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Okay, love you so much. Have fun babysitting.
All right, bye. Love you.
Bye.